ever assumed a boundary existed where maybe it didn't? Hi, I'm Dr. Gayle MacBride. I'm a therapist and I talk a lot about boundaries. Yep, I am back here talking about boundaries again today. Why? Because they're really complex and kind of hard to navigate, and we don't always get really good training on how to handle these situations. And today I want to talk to you about the difference between assuming a boundary exists and knowing one exists. Okay, they can look really similar, and we can even convince ourselves that the first is sort of generous and helpful when we assume what someone needs, actually can do kind of longer term damage. So if you have ever caught yourself in this position where you think, oh my gosh, I know this person needs me, or I'm certain that they just need space right now, you may have found out later that you did damage to that relationship through that assumption. Boundary checking is really that opportunity to say, hey, what do you need? And let me give you an opportunity to give some input here. Let's say you have a friend who seems a little off, they're a little upset. By asking them, hey, you seem a little off, you seem a little upset, what is it that you need here? You create a deeper sense of trust and safety in that relationship, and you give them an opportunity to give you input, rather than making the decision for them without them. When we make a decision for someone else and without them, it's usually a decision based on our own fears and maybe our own overthinking, sometimes our own preferences, but it really is exclusionary to the other person. So when we check a boundary, hey, what is it that you need given these circumstances that I'm noticing? You give an opportunity for them to give input about their own life circumstances. You give them choices. This deepens our relationship. It gives an opportunity for us to show up for our people and our lives the way they need us to. So next time you're feeling tempted to just act without checking, ask yourself, am I checking a boundary or am I assuming it exists? And if I'm assuming it exists, maybe I need to check in. And pro tip, when you're unsure, definitely check in. Give them that choice. Again, I can't say it enough. Relationships are deepened and strengthened when we check in rather than assume. Assuming often leads to greater distance and sometimes even harm. Checking in creates connection. Boundaries are not a guessing game. They're about trust. And the best way to build trust is going to be through clear and assertive communication that leaves room for kindness, generosity, understanding, non-judgment, all of those things. So, drop me a line. Let me know maybe a tough boundary where you attempted to assume and checked in and got a response. Let me know, how does that work for you?